Hey adventurers, so today is going to be another book review. This is going to be for Silence is Silver by Andrew Watson. This is high fantasy. This is kind of like a trial story. This is a novella, very short prequel novella. So let's get into this. Silence is Silver is a prequel novella to Andrew Watson's Shadowbinders series. I have not read the rest of this series yet, but I have wanted to try it since I first started seeing him talk about releasing this book and since I first heard about it. Since this is a novella, I won't have a ton to say about it, but I did have a great time with it, and that's something that I really enjoy and appreciate. Novellas aren't my favorite medium for storytelling, but I do like a lot of things that can be done with them, and I like that shorter, more compact style because I can get through them fairly quickly. Something that I've noticed about myself is that I love trainings and trials and those sequences where people are trying to grow in the growth that you can see through the characters through those moments. Not so much training montages as using the training as a time to teach the characters lessons. That's something that specifically that I really appreciate and really like seeing, is how people can learn lessons, life lessons oftentimes, through these trials and through these training settings and sequences and stuff like that. I don't care for training montages where it's just like boom, 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 now he's a completely different person, way fitter, way stronger, way better at fighting. I don't want to see that. I want to see the individual trials, individual moments that teach the character something. And that's exactly what we get here. Bass, our main character, is going through a period of testing in order to be fully inducted into the Erudite, I may be pronouncing some of these things wrong, and become the person he's been training to be all his life. That's the sort of thing that gets me immediately excited in a story. We then take that and look into each of the different trials that make up this test. So this is a test, and I think there was 3 aspects to the trials of this test. And yeah, as I mentioned, it's meant to induct this character into as a full member of the Erudite society or something like that, basically. There's so much world building that happens in just this one little story, which is something that I do really appreciate about short stories, fantasy short story or fantasy novellas that are tied into greater series, is they're used as a way so often to just explain the world in a way that we can't necessarily specifically see in some of the larger novels. There's so much world building that happens in just this one little story, as well as wider implications for the series. Of course, I haven't read the series yet, so I don't know what all that stuff means, but I see a lot of things that really intrigue me. There's some magic that is hinted at, a great story, destiny, and so much here. Just this one short story, short novella, there's a lot here that's worth paying attention to. But also another piece that I've talked many times about loving, and that's the exploration of culture. Watson does that here and introduces us to this world, this character and this people, in a way where we truly come away knowing who they are and how they think, where we understand this group of people quite well, I guess is how I'll describe that. We don't know every single thing about them, we don't know every piece of their history and everything like that, but we can understand the way that they think and the way that they process information and the way that they approach this trial. That's one of the great things about trials, is that how much they reveal about a character or a setting or a culture or something like that. Anyways, I like trials, if you can't tell. Before I finish up this review though, I just quickly like to say thank you guys for watching an Erudite Adventure. I'm T. If you're liking what you're seeing from us, please like, comment, and subscribe. Watson is fairly brutal in his writing and storytelling, but it's far from gratuitous. He has a good balance between the energy as well as the seriousness of the situation. It is very easy to get into. It's something that I really appreciate, and I read through it pretty quickly. I read it on ebook, which is something that I've started doing quite a bit more now that I intentionally taking my lunch break as a time to read an ebook and see if I can make some progress through that. And so I'm able to get through arcs. I'm able to get through other books. I've got a whole bunch of books on my phone that ebooks on my phone and stuff like that. And so I'm very happy that I have these and am slowly starting to work through them. Overall, I'm very impressed with this and had a great time reading it. I feel like this is a really good entry point into Watson's works. Of course, I haven't read anything else, so I can't say if that's true or not, but I feel like it is. Having it as my first thing that I've read by him, I didn't feel confused. I didn't feel like I was missing context. It felt like a good place to try out this author. It's short and it gives a good taste of what he can do. I definitely want to read more of his books, and his newest novella, Tomb of Tomes, is pretty high on my list. That's something that very much intrigues me. I'm very interested in what this Tomb of Tomes is because I like books, so it's basically a library and a tomb, maybe? I don't know, but I'm fascinated by it. And the cover is really intriguing. I like his covers. I think he's got good cover work as well. Anyways, very impressed with this. Had a good time with it for sure, and definitely recommend it if it sounds interesting to you. So anyways, that was my review for Silence is Silver by Andrew Watson. Thank you guys for watching an Erudite Adventure. We post videos every Monday and Thursday and have our social medias linked in the description down below. We will see you guys again soon. Stay warm.